Casual family? Welcome to CWCD for April 23rd, 2025. Tonight, we've got one of those conversations you're going to want to tap in. This is Casual Wrestling Conversation Daily, where every single day we bring one topic to the table and open it up for real, unfiltered conversations. But let me say this loud and clear. If you've ever felt like you had nobody to talk wrestling with, if you've ever been clowned for being a pro wrestling fan, if your friends just don't get it, your family rolls your eyes at your hobby, and you're stuck watching Raw in silence, you have found a new home. You are not alone. You are now part of the CWC, a community built for fans who just want to laugh, talk wrestling, and feel seen. No gatekeeping, no IWC, no censorship. You're allowed to joke. You're allowed to rant. You're allowed to love pro wrestling. I am your host, the notorious Dirty D, joined as always by my beautiful wife, the queen of very casual herself. Level up, Lauren.
What's up, y'all?
The drill is simple, guys. One topic, one conversation, and we want you to be a part of it, whether that's in the comments, whether that's in the Casual Wrestling Discord, wherever you're hanging out, make yourself heard. If you vibe with us, help us grow the Casual Wrestling family. Like, comment, subscribe, tell your wrestling friends, even if you only got one. Tell them about the show. And tonight's show is brought to you by the Casual Wrestling Merch Store. We've got fresh stuff in the store right now. We'll talk about that later. But first, CWC, we have to have a conversation because The Rock went on the Pat McAfee show, and there is so much to unpack. He addressed his absence from WrestleMania 41. And while he gave us some reasons, a little bit of it felt like it was some bullshit, Lauren. Felt like it was some bullshit. I think we're going to have to break it down. The first thing The Rock says is he chose not to be at WrestleMania because he didn't want to take the big moment away from John Cena. He wanted John Cena to have the full extent of the spotlight, to get all of the respect that he deserves. And he didn't want the final boss storyline to compete for the spotlight. Almighty Dwayne, how noble you are. You are such a humble, humble human being that we absolutely believe this would be the only explanation for why you would not show up at WrestleMania. It's exactly what you expect. The world's biggest superstar, the world's biggest movie star. This is the best PR scripted line that anybody could say on a daytime sports talk show while wearing their fucking sunglasses and being so insincere. Let's be honest here, Rock. Who are we talking to anymore? Is this Dwayne? Is this The Rock? Is this the same guy who raises his eyebrow at eulogies? Is this the same guy who hosted WrestleMania 27, interrupted every fucking segment, cut 10-minute promos, and still closed the show by costing John Cena the match? We're talking about that? Dwayne The Rock Johnson?
Yes.
Dwayne The Rock Johnson's entire brand is being the center of attention. That's not a knock. That's what makes The Rock. The Rock, that's why we love him. He comes in, he steals all the spotlight. He does this side of the crowd say this, that side of the crowd say that. It's just this whole like look at me situation when The Rock's here. So to hear The Rock go on Pat McAfee and say, I didn't want to steal the spotlight, I didn't want to steal the moment, it feels off.
Yeah.
It feels off to me. And don't get me wrong, John Cena absolutely deserves his moment, but this is WWE, okay? Yeah. To say that The Rock couldn't be there because they can't share the spotlight. We've had The Undertaker. We've had Stone Cold Steve Austin. We've had Hulk Hogan all in the ring at the same time. WWE knows how to manage star power and multiple stars in the ring. This is not new, Lawrence. So CWC, do you guys actually believe that The Rock skipped out on WrestleMania out of respect for John Cena, or is this a convenient excuse to avoid maybe a deeper issue? Because here's where things get really weird, Lauren. If The Rock thought his presence would take away from the moment, okay? Yeah. Then somebody's going to have to explain to me why the fuck Travis Scott decided to show up.
Yeah.
Holding a WWE hardcore title like he just defended it earlier in the night against Mick Foley. I have nothing against Travis Scott. This is not meant to throw shade at Travis Scott. He's a megastar. He's cool, whatever. But don't tell me that The Rock was too spotlight heavy and then put the guy in the ring who has zero reason to be there, but is maybe the biggest rapper in the world.
Yeah.
And he's on screen when the cameras go off, raising the arm of John Cena. He was there, but The Rock couldn't be there. That's like saying, hey, I don't want The Rock at our wedding because he's too distracting. But I went ahead and invited fucking Kanye West.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make this explanation is the math is not mathing for me.
Okay.
And it's not about being disrespectful. It's about making logical sense. We know what WWE wants, right? They want the headline. They want the big clip. They want Sports Center talking about WrestleMania. They want Entertainment Tonight talking about WrestleMania. So don't tell me that we turned the spotlights down so that this could be a purely wrestling focused moment. That is not the way The Rock operates. That's not the way WWE operates. That's not the way they run WrestleMania. Look, they did it to Cody Rhodes last year. Last year was built entirely around about it's Cody Rhodes' moment. And what did we do? We had The Undertaker. We had Seth Rollins. We had The Bloodline. We had John Cena. We had The Rock. Don't all of a sudden last year you tried to take the spotlight away from Cody Rhodes. Now all of a sudden Dwayne The Rock Johnson is Mr. I'm all about promoting these people.
Yeah.
I just, The Rock, I can't shake this idea that there's something underlying here. If the concern was too much attention, they still brought in somebody who completely was unrelated to the story, and that stole the attention. I would also argue, Lauren, that The Rock not showing up in turn overshadowed the match even more because the conversation coming out of WrestleMania was not about, oh, this was a pretty good main event. The conversation was, fuck The Rock. If The Rock's not showing up, I don't really care what the match was. And I think everybody left WrestleMania with a sour taste in their mouth, which they then in turn pointed at John Cena and Cody Rhodes, which I don't think is fair. The question I have is, if Travis Scott was allowed to be in this WrestleMania moment, how do you justify that The Rock couldn't be? That, to me, that doesn't make sense. But let's talk about and break down exactly what The Rock said then, Lauren, okay? Because he's on Pat McAfee's show.
Okay.
He's got his sunglasses on. He's casual. He's cool-ass Dwayne The Rock Johnson, trying to spin everything in the cool-ass way he talks, but he keeps dropping one subtle line throughout this entire interview that is extremely telling.
Is it?
He keeps saying, it's not how I would have done it. Through the entire, he says, look, I heard about the John Cena heel turn. I wanted to turn Cody Rhodes. They didn't want to turn Cody Rhodes. When they told me about John Cena, I was all aboard, but it's not the way I would have done it. And he didn't say it once. He didn't say it twice. He said it like 3, 4, maybe 5 times in this interview. And each time, you know how I feel about passive aggression.
Oh, yeah.
You can
read it.
This thing was loaded with passion, with passive aggression. He would slide it right under the radar that most people who don't pick up on passive aggression, that would slide by. But I picked up on it. There was something there. He was not being aggressive. He was not throwing shade. He was being passive aggressive. He wanted to let it be known, this is not the way I would have done it. And to me, this ultimately reads now that I have a clear picture of the map, there is tension. There is creative tension going on in WWE. There is a power struggle between Triple H, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Ari Emanuel, Nick Khan, I don't know who lies on what side of the street, but it is obvious to me that there is an underlying issue happening with WWE, and I don't know if it's The Rock being on the outs. I don't know if they're pushing to get rid of Triple H. I don't know what it is, but it's like The Rock showed up to the meal, brought a recipe, right? He said, this is the story, and then all of a sudden WWE said, now we'll just serve frozen pizzas.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it feels like The Rock was a part of Bad Blood. He was a part of Elimination Chamber, and then to not be a part of WrestleMania doesn't make sense to me. The Rock tried to spin it in a way. He talks about the Elimination Chamber tickets weren't selling, so they called me in. I call bullshit on that because you've touted how great WWE is doing these last couple of months to then all of a sudden be like, well, we're not selling tickets. If you're not selling tickets, stop going to fucking Canada then. Like that. No, I mean, I don't mean that in a mean way, but you're so big on this, like, expansion all around the world, but if you can't sell out Elimination Chamber in Canada and you have to bring in the big guns, The Rock, then don't do that anymore. Because The Rock was on Pat McAfee. He's praising John Cena. He's dropping compliments for Cody Rhodes. He even compliments Triple H from time to time in the interview, but every time he did it, it was followed by, but I don't know. I wasn't really in control of the story. It wasn't, he kept saying, it wasn't the way I would have booked it. And that to me screams, this is The Rock trying to
say everything without saying everything. And
also cover his ass, because I think, you know, the title of my fucking episode yesterday was directly, let's point the blame at Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Not at John Cena, not at Cody Rhodes. I think a lot of fans said, well, hey, this is Dwayne's fault. I just wish, though, somebody would be real. The problem is, I think there's a lot of like, hey, Dwayne, we gave him some ownership in this company. This is now confusing because people aren't getting along. I wish somebody would just be open and honest and go, like, right now, we don't know what's happening. They're doing all these reality shows where we're going in the writer's room. They're breaking kayfabe all over the place. I wish somebody would just have the balls to step up and go, there's some shit going down. We're going to get through it.
What exactly is The Rock in WWE?
I don't know, right? Because, you know, one time he puts on the hat and he says he's the final boss. Then he says, like, TKO something, and I don't know how much ownership he actually has versus what the story is. It's so blurry and messy that it's all great if everybody's getting along and everybody's winning. Where it gets kind of funky is when all of a sudden people aren't getting along. Now, does Triple H have more creative control than The Rock? That might get dicey because maybe The Rock thought he had final say, and all of a sudden TKO is going, no, we back Triple H 100%. Or is this TKO undermining Triple H and going, you know, I've seen rumors. I'm not saying this is true. I've seen rumors. We know the Stone Colds, the Brock Lesnars, the Dwayne The Rock Johnsons. We know they are strong relationships with Vince McMahon. And if Vince McMahon decided to sabotage all of a sudden, he could start getting in people's ears and saying, hey, you don't need to show up. You don't need to help them. Like, I'm not saying that's what's happening, right? I'm just saying it's a possibility. But let's zoom out. Let's assume just for a second everything The Rock said is sincere. Let's take The Rock, Dwayne, superstar, megastar, The Rock Johnson. Let's take him at his word, right? He stepped back to give everybody else their moment. He still loves WWE. He's still invested as he's ever been. He's not done with this story. He's just taking a break. He kind of hinted at, we could always pick this up down the road. Really? Like, you really think that you're going to leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth? And then a year from now, when you come back, this is the problem with Dwayne. It's an abusive relationship. He talks about the relationship with John Cena, but the abusive relationship is between the fans and The Rock. He shows up when he has something to promote, when he feels like being a part of a story. But here's the problem for Dwayne. It feels to me like, did he pick up a new movie? Is there a new clause in one of his contracts that he can't be in a wrestling ring? Like, it feels to me we're at the mercy of what else The Rock wants to do versus the story we're trying to tell inside the ring, because Hollywood can call The Rock at any moment.
True.
And if the movie's right, if it's Moana 4, if it's The Tooth Fairy 6, he may show up and take that job. We don't know what the future holds for Dwayne. So if this is The Rock trying to tell us, well, just hang tight, we'll get back to you later. To me, that's as risky as it gets in WWE. And if this is the case, and maybe this was a declaration for Triple H going, I got to do the best with what I have. I'm going to continue this John Cena thing. I'm going to move forward without The Rock. If so, shout out to Triple H for pulling together what could have been a complete fucking catastrophe.
Yeah.
But also, I think we have to hold The Rock responsible as we move forward. We can't allow him to just keep coming back, walking through that door and having this abusive relationship where we all lose our shit and go nuts, and we book him into WrestleMania. And either one, he had no intention of showing up, or two, what I think is more likely is they set up at Bad Blood, they had an idea.
Yeah.
He came to the table and goes, I want to turn Cody Rhodes to a heel. Me and Cody together, I've got it all planned out. I think that minds that be got together. I don't know if it's Cody. I don't know if it's Triple H. I don't know if it's Nick Khan. Somebody said, bad idea. Cody's a babyface. Keep a babyface. Let's come up with another idea. Boom, boom. We're at the table. We're trying to figure it out. All of a sudden they go, John Cena. John Cena works. Let's turn John Cena bad. And I think in The Rock's head, he's never going to say this, but I think The Rock said, I don't want John Cena. And maybe John Cena is an equal star to me. I don't know how that works, right?
Yeah.
And maybe they convinced him enough to do the Elimination Chamber thing. And then when they sat down, they go, okay, now we got to write this out. He is like, no, I'm good. I don't want to be a part of this. Mm-hmm. This is all speculation, but maybe that's what happened. Maybe The Rock just bitched and complained his way out of this thing. I don't know. But this interview left me with more questions than it did answers. Like, the question I have, does anybody actually believe that The Rock will now commit to finishing this story? Or was WrestleMania 41 this kind of exclamation point that we're done with The Rock? The Rock, we've got to move on from this relationship, and we've got to just cast this to the side. And we can't blame, I don't think we can blame Cena. I don't think we can blame Cody Rhodes. I don't think we can blame, I don't know about WWE. I'm not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about The Rock. But I think we got to move forward, just maybe assuming this is the story we're getting, because there's always the chance we're being worked.
True. I mean,
I don't
never
put
know.
I don't put it past any of these people, right? John Cena has told us we're not going to give you what you want. So it would be on brand for The Rock to be kind of full of shit. I don't feel like that's the best move, but maybe it is. Maybe they're trying to set up this completely just shitty organization, this corporate organization of The Rock.
Has he ever kind of been like passive aggressive like that before?
Not to my knowledge. The Rock is typically very outspoken, but this feels delicate, right? Because you wouldn't want, neither side would want to just come out and shit on the others, because if they both have an invested stake in the company, there's no purpose. To me, just from the outside looking in, it feels like The Rock took his ball and went home. Mm-hmm. It really does. It feels, from what I heard over and over, it feels like he goes, this isn't what I want to do, so you don't get me. Right? And rightfully so. I guess that's what you get when you're as big as The Rock. But it feels like, to me now, when I look back at this last week of PR by WWE, by Nick Khan and by Triple H, I try to decipher and I go, they were very kind of attacking of the internet, almost like they knew a shitstorm was coming. And they kept saying, we're going to stick to the course. We don't care what the internet says.
That is weird.
It's almost like they were prepping the internet and the fans for, when this doesn't go the way you want it to,
don't cry.
This is what we wanted, and we're not going to change directions. We're not going to run and beg Dwayne to come back. It feels more like a PR play from The Rock than it does WWE. Because here's the interesting thing that I noticed before we move on, and that is, I did not see any mention from WWE that The Rock was going to be on the Pat McAfee show.
Oh.
Which is a little bit telling to me. They usually plaster that shit. They plastered Big Night Out. They plastered when John Cena was going to be on. They almost ruined the ending of WrestleMania by saying John Cena was going to be on Pat McAfee. So to my knowledge, I tried to look it up. I saw no publicity from the WWE side
I didn't hear or see anything
Pat
about
McAfee having The Rock. I'll go one step further, and I'm going to go on record. I'm not saying this happened.
Okay.
But I'm going to say that sometimes you've got to look where there's smoke, there's fire. They seemingly might have written Pat McAfee off of TV last night.
Why?
He was choked out by Gunther.
Oh, wait. Yes. Okay.
Now, is there a world? I'm not, once again, going on record, I'm not saying this is a thing. This is pure speculation. Is there a world where somebody caught wind that The Rock talked to Pat McAfee, booked himself on the show? WWE finds out and goes, Pat, we can't do that. Pat goes, this is too big. You guys don't tell me what to do. And WWE goes, we're going to have to write you off the show.
Oh.
This is a little messier than you think, Pat. And if you're going to step on that side, I'm not saying this is happening.
That would be
Lauren,
crazy. I love Pat McAfee.
but it did seem a little bit abrupt.
I saw it and I asked you, I was like, oh my God, is he okay? Like, why is he so red? Like, is he dying?
You wonder if they don't go, all right, this leaves the door. We'll know quickly, right? Because if Pat comes back and there is a story in place for him to fight Gunther, then it was all in the story, right? But if not, if there's a little bit of tension or just a little bit of a let's figure this thing out, Pat will play ball. He'll let Gunther get the heat. I'm just saying, is there a world where they are trying to figure out where allegiances lie?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past them, but I don't know. You're really good at reading people. So
yeah, I don't know. What I do know, ultimately, from watching the interview with Pat McAfee and The Rock, there were more questions than answers. I wasn't satisfied with the answers. The Rock shifted way too many times in and out of character, which I didn't like. You're either all in or you're all out. He would literally go, putting the final boss Rock hat on. Then he would answer a question. He goes, now as Dwayne Johnson TKO, he'd answer the question. That's messy. That's very messy. That feels like cleanup. That feels like PR. And until I see WWE kind of promote this interview, it really, to me, looks to be they may be farther apart than we think they are.
Did WWE show any of the interviews from the Pat McAfee show, like on their stuff, like clips or anything like that, or reference them?
I think that not typically the clips. I'm more. They usually will say like, "Hey, check out Pat McAfee show. Sheamus is going to be on tomorrow." Yeah. And it seems weird. So you're talking about from the show ends at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Monday.
Okay.
Pat starts at like 11 o'clock the next day. No mention. It had to have come together either behind the scenes. It just feels like WWE would have been like, hey.
And literally Monday night he got choked out.
Yes.
And then the next morning the
Rock's
showed
on
up.
the show.
Yeah.
With no mention from WWE. It's not like they said, hey, we'll talk to the final boss tomorrow to see what he thinks. And Pat tried to stay in character. But Pat's also no-selling this a little bit. Like,
what do you mean?
He was choked out by Gunther and like almost died. And Pat's back doing his show the next day, which he has to, right? That's his obligation.
Normally he'd have like on a neck brace or something and be like, I'm just so sore from.
I'm just saying we have to. It's a conversation to be had. That's what this show is. It's conversations to be had. I am not by any means claiming this is what's happening. It is just a conversation that I want to bring up.
Is that why all of his dudes were there too, like behind him? You
No,
mentioned that me.
no.
Or were they always there?
They were always there. They were there for WrestleMania week. He was doing his show from WrestleMania.
Okay.
And I'm like I said, like I don't think that necessarily there's even like bad blood, but there could be a little bit of like we've got to figure this out. We got to figure out what this means. That's what I'm saying. All right, Lauren. So tonight I am dropping part 2 of the Dirty Dozen. Nerdy. I'm not Nerdy
Dirty
D.
Dozen,
I'm
Nerdy
Dirty
D.
D. Dirty D's top 5 SmackDown superstars. These once again are the top 5 wrestlers from SmackDown that I am going to ride or die for. I will invest in their every move. I will cheer. I will cry. And to recap yesterday, Lauren, I dropped a top 5 list from Monday Night Raw that was absolutely beautiful. I've gone back and looked at this list. I see no problems with this list. Seth Rollins at number 1, Braun Breaker at number 2, Becky Lynch at number 3, John Cena at number 4, Karrion Kross at number 5. The first 5 names on the Dirty Dozen. Tonight, I bring to you, I unveil a very special SmackDown edition of the Dirty Dozen, starting with one. Lauren, you go ahead and get it started for me. What's that first name that would be on that list?
Seth Rollins?
SmackDown, Lauren.
Okay.
SmackDown.
I don't know.
I'll wait.
Yeet?
I'll wait.
Yeet?
I'll wait.
I don't know. I'm not going to lie. You know that I get confused on who is on SmackDown and who is on Raw.
Just pick one name from WWE.
Roman Reigns?
Try again.
Is this a boy?
No.
Who? You?
Me?
Matt McAfee.
What?
I don't know.
Where the
I'm
fuck
so
are you?
confused.
What?
Help me out here, bro. Just tell me, please.
EST, man.
Bianca Belair. Oh my God.
What are you doing?
I don't know. You put me on the hot seat and I
What
got
are
so
you
nervous.
doing with that? I'm disappointed.
Look, I'm preparing for 10 questions here. I know it's coming and my mind's ready. All right.
Name number 1 on the Dirty Dozen from SmackDown.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Bianca Belair.
Come on, man. Come on. Number 2, Drew McIntyre.
Good one.
Let's go.
I love me some
Bianca
Drew.
and Drew. 2 solid choices. Number 3, my guy Jacob Fatu. Okay?
Okay.
Number 4, if you got Bianca, who else do you have to have? I'm respectful. I'm a respectful person.
Her husband.
Montez Ford.
Okay.
Not picking the Street Profits, mind
Yeah.
you.
Okay.
I'm only ride or die for the man named Montez Ford. I love Angelo Dawkins. No disrespect. But it's time for Montez to get some fucking respect, and he is on the list. Number 5, simple, easy, should be Toothless, Tiffany Stratton.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so my 5 SmackDown: Bianca Belair, Drew McIntyre, Jacob Fatu, Montez Ford, Tiffany Stratton. Throw that on top of Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Becky Lynch, John Cena, and Karrion Kross. That is my top 10 so far. I will drop my 2 NXT names tomorrow. Okay?
Nice.
The results are in, Lauren.
Okay.
I have tallied up after going back and watching because I had completely forgot who I picked.
I did too.
not know who was on my team, what we were talking about. But the results are in from the first ever WrestleMania fantasy battle royale, as we wanted to call it. Interesting enough, this thing was
Close.
fucking close.
Okay.
So close.
And I won.
The results are in, Lauren.
Okay.
Jey Uso versus Gunther. The point went to me.
Okay.
The New Day versus the War Raiders. We didn't even pick.
We didn't pick one?
What were we doing?
Oh, no.
We didn't draft. All right. Jade versus Naomi went to me.
Okay.
El Grande versus Rey Fenix went to you.
Nice.
Jacob versus LA Knight went to me.
Okay.
Tiffany versus Charlotte went to you.
Mm-hmm.
Seth versus Roman versus Punk went to me, leaving a night 1 score of Dirty D4. Lauren with
I'm counting over here.
2.
I'm anticipating. I don't know what to expect.
So we go to night 2, Lauren.
Okay,
Different
let's go.
story, a tale of different times. Io versus Bianca versus Rhea Ripley. I, of course, had Io Sky.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 for me.
Okay.
Drew
Something very good
McIntyre
for me.
versus Damian Priest. That goes to you.
Yeah.
The fatal 4-way match. I picked Dirty Dominic Mysterio on my squad.
Uh-huh.
That goes to me.
Yeah, I'm not. This is very close so far.
Randy versus
Okay.
Joe Hendry. You had Randy Orton.
Yeah. Okay.
Logan Paul versus AJ Styles. Your boy picked it.
Fucking shit. Okay.
Okay. Cody versus Cena. That goes to you. The tag team match. That goes to you. What's the final score, Lauren?
You won by 1 point?
It was 7-6.
Oh, mother. If I would have just picked the freaking tag team thingy. Hey, I did pretty good though. I was close.
Your
know?
boy. All right. So
I'll
then-
give it to you.
So then, let's move on to our straight up, right down the line WrestleMania Pick'em Challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to go through all the matches again. I'm just going to give you numbers.
All right. What was the score?
You, out of 14 matches,
Huh?
selected 7 matches correct.
Okay.
50%.
50-50.
Not bad.
Casual wrestler. Get it.
7 would be great if your boy Dirty D didn't get 8 matches correct.
I lost by 1 again?
You lost by 1 again.
Oh, my God.
Two-time WrestleMania prediction champion, your boy, the notorious Dirty D.
I call a recount.
You can recount it all you want. It took me forever to calculate
I believe you. I believe you.
I double-checked them as well.
I believe
But that was fun, okay?
Yeah.
So that was fun. So here's what we got to talk about. Fantasy League. We got to get this Fantasy League back going. I struggle with this thing because I love it, but I want it to work and be fun for everybody. Here's the idea I'm kicking around right now, okay? Me and you are going head-to-head in this thing.
Yeah.
It's me versus you. And then we will commission the league under us where they all will play the Fantasy League.
Okay.
Now, like Major League Soccer, whoever wins that league will move up into our bracket next season.
Oh,
so
like they come and join our group?
They will come join the top group, the Premier League. So we'll start everybody on the bottom. Even Snuggles, who's won this thing like 14 times, okay?
I know.
I understand you're real good, but you got to start on the bottom still, okay? But that's how we're going to run this thing is they all get to draft. We get to sit back and watch. We will have our draft on an episode of CWCD.
All right.
And then we will have our league for this season.
Uh-huh. They
will have their league. Whoever wins that league will move up and join us in the next season.
Nice. Okay.
Our petition is picking up steam, just FYI.
Okay.
Our petition, the CWC petition 1, petitioning for Cardi B to be removed from the SummerSlam premium live event. It is starting to pick up steam. It is getting a little bit of attention. Just saying, this was a complete fucking joke, right? It was meant to be a joke. TikTok hates this thing, which makes me double down and now want to invest even heavier into it because of the extreme hate and the fact that TikTok cannot just take a joke. The IWC on TikTok have no fucking sense of humor, which leads me to want to double down and invest and really push this thing to see how many signatures we could get.
I mean, have you gotten some?
There's quite a few. There's quite a few on there.
It
does this weird thing where there's verified signatures versus unverified because I get it. Most people don't want to put all their real information in. This was never intended to, in fact, if we do CWC petition 2, we'll figure out a way to do it where it's not so real, but still looks real.
Yeah.
But it's funny
because get a tally. See, like
it's got like 7 official petition signings. That's the one that it confirms through email.
Yeah.
And shit like that.
That means that somebody really committed and wanted to really sign that.
Well, that's all us. That's all us. I mean, if you look, that's going to be James. That's going to be Deep. That's going to be Kara. That's going to be Chef.
I was definitely perplexed when I saw that Cardi B was the thing, and I asked you, like, does it matter?
It made me laugh because the first 3 comments were all about race. The old white guy doesn't like Cardi B. I'm like, I give 2 fucks about Cardi B. Old white guy doesn't listen to rap music. I was like, bitch, I listen to rap music before you fucking did.
You do. You're more of a rapper than I am.
Yeah. I can go deep into fucking rap.
You cook Mexican food better than I do.
Exactly.
You're multicultural.
I am a very well-rounded cultural person. I'm international Dirty D, by the way. Of all cultures.
Got some little half-breed babies with me.
Exactly. Multicultural kids.
Multicultural children.
I am not a part of the problem. I am a part of the solution in this world. Let's play 10 questions.
Oh, yay.
10 questions. You said you were studying, so you're ready to go.
Okay.
We need
oh, gosh. This gets me so nervous. Like, you don't even understand. It's like I'm... okay, right. All right, you know first question, okay? Is it a girl?
No. Girls are too easy now. I think we should ban that question.
No,
I think we should ban that question. CWC petition number 2.
No, just say no.
Ban the question of male or female.
No. That's not fair then because
it's not a petition. I'm just fucking with you.
Okay.
Don't read too much into it.
Okay. Just say no. All right. Do they have blonde hair?
Let me relook who they are. No.
Okay. Do they have short hair?
Oh.
Remember we talked about it. The fadies. Do they have the fadies? I don't know what the actual word is for that, but
Yes,
that's okay.
they do. Yes.
They have short hair?
Yeah, short hair.
So short brown hair. Are they under 30?
No.
Okay, so they're over 30. Were they in WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay. Are they part of a group or faction?
No.
Okay. It's not the Usos because they both have long hair. It could be Grande Americano because he has short hair. It could be Cody, but Cody Rhodes has blonde hair. You said were they over 40 or under? I mean, over 30, sorry.
Over 30.
Over 30? Are they over 40?
Yep, that's 7.
Do they wear jorts?
Nope, that's 8.
Oh, shit, it's not John Cena. Okay. Okay.
You can see this person.
You can see this person?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because you can't see John Cena, but you can see this person.
But Penta could... Oh, you're fucking with me somehow. You're like giving me those subliminal messages, and I don't even know.
What's subliminal about what I just said?
I don't know.
You
could be messing with me.
So but the only thing I'm saying is a joke referencing that you can't see John Cena.
So are they under 6 foot?
No. That's 9.
Fuck. Okay. They
I'm
have short
way
brown
too
hair.
deep. You spend way too much time trying to identify this by only.
I'm a visual person. I don't
Sure,
know
that's
how
fine.
to
But the
discover
problem is you
people.
get to 9 and you haven't even identified like race of the character.
Are they Mexican?
No, that's 10. I need a question. I need a
They're
guess.
white. It's Grande Americano.
No.
I'm gonna make Grande Americano. Wait.
You asked a question
Okay.
about height, didn't you?
Yeah.
What did you ask?
He's like 5. He's a 5'9".
Yeah.
I got scared. I felt.
Do you want one more shot at it? Bonus question, bonus answer doesn't count. You don't get the
Okay.
win. You got one more answer.
I don't know. It's okay. Okay. So he has brown hair. Is it Karrion Kross?
No.
Who is it?
You didn't identify SmackDown, Raw. You didn't. I mean, you say you've been studying, but it doesn't feel like it feels like you're cheating on the test.
I don't have a cheat sheet. I don't have nothing here to look at.
If you just had to pick your favorite wrestler, who would you pick?
Roman Reigns?
No.
CM Punk. It's CM Punk.
Dude, I'm so confused
it
by
CM
you
Punk?
today. I am so.
Is it CM Punk?
No, you don't know my. Did you get hit in the head?
I don't know.
You don't know my. Who's my favorite wrestler?
Bianca Belair.
Who's your favorite wrestler?
It's Randy Orton.
It's Randy Orton.
Oh my God. He has
Randy
no
Orton.
hair.
There's some hair there. He's not bald.
Is there?
He's not bald.
He's like shavy bald.
That's hair though.
No.
That's hair.
I would say he was bald. I consider him in the bald category.
So hold on. Here's the problem. This is the problem with this game. So how do I answer that question? Does he have long hair?
I mean, no. He doesn't.
Does he have short hair?
Yeah.
Because
no
if
hair.
I say
there's
he
no
doesn't-
hair, so he has short hair.
If I say he doesn't have short hair, you're immediately going to assume
he has long hair.
he has long hair.
You could say neither.
No, that's not how this game works. It's yes or no.
You got me. You got me. Okay.
I mean, but we have to qualify that. So how do you want me in the future? How would you like me to answer questions where someone has a lack of hair?
I don't know. Yeah.
Because
I guess,
now it's going to take a third question because you're going to have to say, does he have short hair? No.
now it's going to be stuck in my head.
Exactly.
How did I not get that one? He is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, this game does something to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a wrap for today, guys. Now it's your turn. Hit up the comments and make your casual voice heard. I will protect you from the IWC. So any comment you make that you use hashtag CWC will get protection against the crazy IWC and their wild ass responses. Like, subscribe, and share this episode. New merch is available on casualwrestling.com. At what point does it become not new merch? You know what I mean? Like it's been like a week. Is it still? I think 2 weeks.
Still new.
2 weeks. It's still
a month?
new.
Like a month after a month, it's not new.
But what I'll do is I'll put one new shirt up in 2 weeks so I can continue saying new merch available.
What if it
in
says
the store?
new shirt?
It's gonna just say new shirt. New merch is available
Yeah.
in the store. I'm the notorious Dirty D. That is Level Up Lauren, and this was CWCD. Stay loud, stay loyal, stay casual. Lauren, ring the final bell.
Ding, 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 ding.
Head down, we're ready to rumble. The casual pod don't stumble. No peace, no rest in this fight.